Okay, sorry, I was almost late. Just helping put the boys to bed. Yeah, so this is usually just going to be for members. Oh, thanks, Jack. I appreciate that. So yeah, if you guys have anything that you want to ask, you can put that down in the comment or the comment box, whatever. Um, but yeah, so for those that don't know how these usually go, I do them every other week. What I think I'm going to start doing, and I want my members to comment on this. Oh, I got my light. Uh-oh, it's not working anymore. Oh, because it's not plugged in. So for my members, what I want for you guys to do is put what do you think about having it where once a month, that's when it will be a member only um, live stream, and then for the other time, it'll be a an open one like this. So put that down in the comments. I'm curious as to what you guys think. But considering that there's been some things that have happened, I was thinking that we can discuss some of that while I'm cleaning my stuff. All right. So yeah, so for those that maybe haven't jumped in on these before, um, I just honestly it gives me a chance that I can go and clean my gear. I'm gonna be running some drills this weekend, getting ready for World Cup, and some of you may have seen the news that I won't be playing with the Saints. I'm gonna be playing semi-pro at World Cup, which isn't the ideal situation. It's definitely something that I wanted to end out the season pro. I wasn't cut. People keep saying that I was cut or whatever. No, that wasn't the case at all. It was basically a situation where I had to make a decision, um, and it was going to be yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I don't want to go too much in depth, just because there's not a need for it. But basically, I wasn't able to there was a scheduling conflict. I know I posted up about that, and because of that, the owner was kind of put in a tough situation. It is what it is. So yeah, so I was able to connect up with Ruthless Factory, which is a new semi-pro team. So I really appreciate them letting me jump on so last minute. I mean, that was definitely something that I mean, the layout drops next week. So for them to do that is really cool. So I appreciate that. Man, there's a lot of haters. Like I just don't understand it. Uh yeah, I just don't get it. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm still gonna be at World Cup. I mean, especially with the is this from oh no. I took a really bad dive. Hey John. Uh, so let's roll the dice and see. It's not even necessarily rolling the dice. It's just like I appreciate them bringing me on and hopefully I can help out or bring some knowledge from 5 seasons in pro. I don't mean that as a cocky thing or whatever. It is what it is. So Nick, this won't be my last event. As of right now, it's my well, I guess Chicago would have been my last pro event. So yeah, I mean, right now everything is just status quo. Um, from here on out, I mean, it's going to be just kind of see where everything kind of falls. I'm still going to be doing the channel. Don't worry, that's not going anywhere. I didn't realize that I like broke stuff. Ooh, surprised that worked. Okay. Yeah, I took a really bad dive and didn't realize that I like almost broke a piece out of here. So that's interesting. So no, it's not going to be my last event. I'm just stepping back from pro is the plan. So that's been the plan since the beginning of the year. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'll still be jumping in, and maybe Ruthless will be my home after that. Whenever I can kind of get away from real life and jump in, go play some paintball. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. But again, thank you so much to those guys. Thank you to Ruthless. To, I guess people know that it's John that owns Ruthless. Um, so thank you to him for helping orchestrate some of that, getting me in contact with everyone. So I appreciate that. I was actually, if you go on Ruthless's, actually, John, do you even still have the? I don't even know if you still have this picture. You might actually. I was one of John's first like models for his shirts. So if you want to go see my ugly mug, it might be up there somewhere. If you go really really far back on the just the archives of all that stuff. So thank you again to Ruthless. Somewhere on the IG. Yeah, somewhere. If you guys want to go and make fun of me, I don't really care. But yeah, so thank you again, John, and thank you to Ruthless for picking me up so last minute, and yeah, just kind of see who it is that we're going to be playing. That's the funny thing is once you've played in pro for a while, you end up meeting a lot of people and knowing a lot of people that you end up playing. So I guess we'll see who it is that I feel like this is not situated the way it's supposed to be. You guys are seeing this in real time of me trying to figure this out. So yeah, so just trying to play, I mean, I want to go play. So anyways, so yeah, so if you guys have comments or questions, please type those in for sure. But yeah, so I did want to give a shout out to Transfuse. So Transfuse and myself and the channel have partnered up. So if you use Watch, Learn, Win, you are going to get 10% off. I actually did go and put it up against other competition. So there was another company that I was testing out their products, and Transfuse had also hit me up. And this other company isn't even based in anything with paintball. They were curious to see how it would work out. I won't say who it is, but they were nice enough to send out. It's like an endurance company where they do endurance athletics, like long distance biking and things like that. So it was really nice of them to do that. But ultimately, it just came down to I like that the what is it? Transfuse has oh, there we go. Nootropics. So that's something that helps with your brain. So just being able to think a little bit more clearly, being able to make better decisions. And also, I think it's beta alanine, right? At first, honestly, I don't really like this, but then hearing what it does, I was like, oh, okay, I actually do like this. Basically, it's it's in a lot of different pre-workouts, and there's a reason for that. It gives you that kind of prickly feeling. With that prickly feeling, it actually is helping with your body being able to get rid of the lactic acid. So when I learned that, I was like, okay, I can put up with that. It's not my favorite, but because it does have the caffeine, the nootropics, all of that, when you feel that kind of prickly feeling, it's actually helping with your body being able to get rid of that lactic acid, which is going to help you to perform better. So pretty cool. But yeah, so definitely go and try it out. There's the Transfuse and Transcend. Transcend is the one that has that kind of pre-workout type thing, I guess you could say. And then Transfuse is going to be the one that is just like normal hydration. I mean, like to just add it so that way I'm not dying in the Florida heat. Although it's cooling off now, which is really, really nice. But yeah, so what I wanted to do as well, so now that we got that other stuff out of the way, and there's always going to be haters, right? There's always going to be people that are those keyboard warriors that are like, oh, you definitely got cut. And it's like, I wish I could give you the whole story. But I'm not going to do that. Like, there's no reason to do that. But what I want to do is actually go through the different, now that the brackets are officially out. I did kind of sneak it to my members before, but with the with the brackets, I wanted to go through and just give my opinion on how I think things are going to go, who's going to win out, and then the whole thing with this Champions Cup, I think is cool, but we'll see how it affects. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens with that. So tell me what you guys think. Also, so basically, Champions Cup. While I'm finishing up with this here, is if you won an event, you automatically got a berth into the. There we go. Let's talk paintball. Um, if you guys don't follow Let's Talk Paintball, you need to. I think he might actually get bigger scoops than I ever do, and I'm like in it. uh, so um, yeah, so basically it's like the World Cup. So there are a lot of teams that are fighting for, obviously all of the pro teams are fighting for this top spot, but the top teams from throughout the season and from overseas got a berth into, I believe it's the top 8. So as like a championship kind of prize, I guess you could say. But the idea being that they already have earned their right to go into the next section there. But the other teams are going to have to tell us all the secrets. Sorry, Jack. Yeah. So and I promise to. I know that I have these on Tuesdays. I'm not trying to compete against Spick and Span. Like Ryan and Kyle are great dudes. I honestly had just looked at my calendar, and for whatever reason, Tuesdays seem to be best. And and then I realized, like, oh yeah, well they have that one. So yeah. The only ones in the top 4, the rest of that fight. I think that I thought it was that they were doing some like the top, they got top 8 and then everyone else had to fight. See, this is what I mean. This is why you got to follow Let's Talk Paintball, and he's got all the uh all the insider secrets. But yeah, so how that's going to break down, especially even with right now DMG is last. Um Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. All right. So the 20 teams fight it out to get to the top 8. All right. Well, I mean, that's kind of normal. That's usually what paintball is. So that's not different. But the fact that now you have a couple teams that have already gotten that next round is definitely great for them. But I I don't know how this is going to affect the overall. And I'm curious as to, are they just going to give seeding points just to the teams that have been in the US NXL, or do they get like whatever place they get? So like there's 20, was it 24 teams? Does that mean now that if someone gets 24th, do they get 1 point? Because that's usually what it is for last place for the bottom pro team, is you get 1 point for that event. So curious to see how that'll break things down, because that's going to mess with the overall rankings if they are just doing some weird uh, breakdown for that stuff. But anyways, so yeah, what is it? The teams that are the points will be adjusted. Okay, cool. All right, I should just I guess stop talking about this. So yeah, so I guess that's a good thing for some of the teams. Um, any tips for someone trying to go to semi-pro? Um, Drills. That's really what it comes down to. I had people make fun of me for doing drills as much as I did, and they're not playing pro. Like it's one of those things that you put in the work and you're going to be rewarded for that. The other side of that too is play people better than you. Like I remember I would wait after practice and waiting for like damage to finish practicing so I could even get in just a couple one-on-ones with them.
Mhm.
Same thing with I think it was Infamous or Vicious. They were out at CFP and I went and waited, and then I got to run some drills with them at the end of the day. If you look at some of the guys on Killers, they've been jumping in and taking advantage of having the Russians out here right now and going and drilling with them during the week. So it's taking those opportunities that are provided to you. So that, and definitely playing people that are better than you. I mean, like, I know I said that, but it's one of those things that you just, if you're not playing someone that's better than you, then you're stagnant. The only way to get better in paintball is to get your head blown apart. That's really the only way to do it. So it's one of those things that, I mean, I talk about it all the time where I went and got my head blown apart by Brian Smith on Damage multiple times. That dude will, they don't call him Agent Smith for nothing. He literally will just disappear when we were doing one-on-ones and then bunker me. And I was like, what the heck just happened? And then, yeah, so that helps you get better though. You want to try to play with someone, uh, put this down. Um, yeah, I mean that you want to try to find someone that's going to take the time to also teach you as well, and that might take paying them. I know it sounds kind of messed up, but it might take. Hey, can I just buy you um, a case of paint and pay whatever and be able to do this? Sometimes you get lucky and they'll just do it for free, or if you just give them some paint, that they'll do it for free. But yeah. So anyways, yeah, the two largest jumps in paintball are D2 to semi-pro and semi-pro to pro. I could agree with that for sure. The funny thing with D2 and semi-pro is that, and I'm sure the league is probably trying to do it this way, uh, it's pretty much the same price, if not exactly the same price to play. So some people that say, hey, some people that say, oh, well, this team, why would they jump up to semi-pro? Honestly, if that team wants to get better, that's the way that they're going to be able to do it quickly. Is just getting their head blown apart in semi-pro, learning, having someone that is going to be able to help them, and being able to make that jump like that. So let's look at these different brackets. I'm curious to see what you guys think. So I'm just going to go group A, B, C, and D and give you my opinions. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. What is it that you think? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? You know, it's all right to disagree. Maybe there's going to be some crazy upsets. Who knows? So Group A is Damage, Thunder, Aftermath, Saints, and Lucky 15s. Um, no offense to Lucky 15s. I don't see them winning other than maybe against the Saints. There are some things with the Saints that you guys will see that I don't know if I'm allowed to say. So just keep an eye out for that. This isn't the reason why I'm playing or not playing with them. That I was, like I said, I wasn't cut. It wasn't like they called me and said you're done. There was just some scheduling stuff that it is what it is, you know. Like, this isn't my job. I had a bunch of people that were asking, like, "Did you get paid in Bitcoin?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. I'm still a school teacher. Like, I'm not. I wish that would be awesome if this was my job, but it's not. Um, so, or at least for right now, who knows what could happen in the future? But yeah. So with Lucky 15s, the reason why I say that is that they're a very aggressive team, and I've heard that they play well together. But I appreciate that. Um, I just, when I had watched them before, like when they got second, it was great. But I don't know how disciplined they are. I think that they're just a very like go 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 kind of team, and against really good gunners like Damage and Aftermath, you're not going to see that. And then I know Thunder. I mean, Corey Field just by himself has pulled off some crazy stuff. And yeah, with the Saints, like I said, there's some stuff that is kind of in the works. Um, or not, it's not even kind of in the works. I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say. Can I say allegedly? Isn't that, can I steal that for right now? Allegedly. Um, so, um, whenever I retire from pro, yeah, I plan on still jumping in from time to time in semi-pro D2, uh, messing around. The channel's not going anywhere. So yeah, how to start playing speedball? Mason, just go for it, man. That's what you got to do. You just got to get out there. If there's a local field that has kind of like an open play where you can just jump in, that's where it's going to be best. But yeah, so going back to this group, um, so I think it's going to be damage and aftermath is what I want to lean towards for winning the group. With Thunder probably getting a wild card, if not Thunder and aftermath flipping that. Um, so I see damage winning out. It's nothing against aftermath. I just know that there's no wild cards. Oh, that changes things. Interesting. I thought I saw something about wild cards though. Hold on. Now I got to look this up. This one I think I'm right on, but let me see. Are you sure there's no wild cards? I thought I saw something about wild cards. You are right. Wow. Okay. Okay, so the 8 teams that advance from World Cup preliminary round will compete in a head-to-head wild card. That's why I thought that. So what's releasing at World Cup? Different items. But okay, interesting. I saw wild card and I thought that it was the wild card. So it's just going to be the top 2 from each. Ooh, that's going to be a really tight race. I think damage is still going to win out, but the other one would be aftermath and thunder. But that's I think thunder is going to come with a lot of gusto. They are definitely coming hard, but aftermath, man, with the fact of how much it is that they play and what they are bringing to the table in terms of coaching with Mike Hinman, that's going to be a real tough, tight race. Those 3 teams. So interesting. Okay. And then Group B. We have X Factor, Legion, Diesel, Uprising, and DMG. I think that one's probably going to be X Factor and Legion winning out. Uprising can surprise you, but it's one of those things. Ooh, Hinman possibly not at Cup. That would really change things. That would really, really change things. That would be real intense. But yeah, so out of this group though, X Factor and Legion, it's nothing against Uprising. This is the weird thing that like when I have a bunch of friends on all these different teams, I just don't see. It's tough because Uprising, it's kind of what Uprising shows up. They can play really, really well or not play. But I think it'll be those 2. Diesel's been they haven't been as strong as they have been before. And again, this is tough because I feel like I'm like bad mouthing guys that I am friends with, but I'm just trying to look just strictly off of overall skill. Um, but yeah, I think that's what it'll be. But that's the great thing with World Cup is who shows up. Oh, that's not cool. The first cup you're missing. That's at least one good thing with me. I'm only about an hour drive away from World Cup. So that's always nice. All right, let's look at Group C. So it's Level, Hurricanes, Energy, NYX, and Tsunami. No offense to Tsunami, they're not gonna. I don't think that they're gonna win a match. I feel bad for saying that, but from what I've heard, the the tournament that they won out of was only like 5 teams to go and play pro. So I don't see them winning at all. Maybe a couple points. Um, I think Level and Hurricanes. Nothing against Energy. I think those guys are fantastic players. NYX, fantastic players. But I think Hurricanes, what they've been coming with is fantastic. Mike Bianca's done an amazing job coaching them. I've been friends with him for a while. A couple of the guys I've been friends with on Hurricanes, and I was very impressed. The first event that I saw them play pro, when I was still at the ML Kings, I had gotten or we were on deck. They were the team before us, and the composure that they had for their first pro match and on was fantastic. So there really isn't like poison that's brought back into the pit. It's not one of those things that you have to worry about players flipping out or whatever. If there was something, it kind of got squashed pretty quick. Um, so I'm seeing NYX. I just I don't know. I know that they're going to be fighting real hard, but I don't see. I don't know if it's going to be NYX. I think it's going to be Level and Hurricanes. I think they'll win out. Energy is going to be coming real hard. That's going to be an interesting bracket, for sure. Um, uh, so the thing with NYX, I love those guys. They're awesome. They're just great to play against, like just their energy, all of that. I know they seem like a bunch of jerks on the webcast, but if you guys ever get the chance to talk with them and hang out, Harris is hilarious. Like just the stuff that he does, you're like, dude, shut your mouth. Like he's just funny. And then Arslan, his brother, like all of them are. I get along with I think all of them. The only guy that I don't really know that well is McLean. I don't really know him all that well. But yeah, they're just really just funny guys. I mean, but they're competitors. That's just how they are. Um, I think it'll be interesting though. I mean, because if they show up, I mean, look, they made Sunday, so maybe. And then Group D is Revo, Infamous, ML Kings, Ironman, and Carnage. Now, I think Carnage is going to have some upsets. Carnage, I think, isn't like a top tier team in Europe, but they are. Well, I take that back. I think they are a relatively good team. The French players there. I know Tauntauns are already in, but with Carnage, I think that they're going to have. Oh, they are top 5. Okay, I think that they are going to have some upsets. No offense to the Ironmen, I don't see them moving on. I think that the Kings will have a good showing, but I want to say that it'll be Infamous and Revo winning out of there. There's something about whenever ML Kings play Revo, and this is coming from someone that played with the ML Kings. Revo always seems to have the Kings number. It's not that like the Kings were making these crazy mistakes or whatever. It just seemed like they just had the Kings number every single time. Like when I played with them, I'm not with them, it's just all that craziness. So yeah, I think it'll be Revo and Infamous that win out of that. But I think that Carnage might mess some of that up. They might be one of those guys that uh Revo and Infamous. Revo parted ways with. Oh, interesting. Oh, I did see something about that. Yeah. I mean, we'll see how Ethan does. I haven't been watching him. I know that. I mean, I haven't really been watching the semi pro matches a whole lot. So, I guess I should have been. But again, I wasn't expecting that this was going to happen. That I wouldn't be playing pro at Cup. But so be it. God clearly had a different plan. So yeah. So I think the 8 that'll come out of this will be Revo, Infamous, Level, Hurricanes, Legion, X Factor, Damage, and I think I do want to go with Thunder. It's nothing against Aftermath and nothing against the Kings or anything like that. I think that it's going to be those top tier 1 and 2 teams that are here on. I'm looking at the bracket. I think that those are going to be the guys that move on. Now, could the ML Kings surprise Infamous or maybe Revo? Yeah, for sure. And I think Carnage is definitely going to surprise some people. So we'll have to see with that. But what do you guys think about bringing over the European teams and other teams that have been around from um, uh, what is it, the Latin League that Tsunami came from? I think it's awesome. I think it's great that World Cup is like a true World Cup. I don't know how the longevity would be for this, but uh, oh, okay, yeah. So why can't I play pro at Cup? So there was a scheduling conflict that came up that wasn't going to allow me to play with the Saints. And the way that the NXL has the league set up is that if you played pro in Chicago, you can't play pro with a different team at World Cup. So because I played um, Cali and the Cali Minor and Chicago with the Saints, it meant that for World Cup, like even if some team came and said we want to give you $1 million, like I literally cannot by the rule book. I cannot do that. Same thing goes for any, like if there was a player that wanted to talk to one of the European teams that's coming over, they can't. If they were on a pro roster at Chicago as a player, then yeah. Uh, European hockey teams. Oh, that's interesting. I appreciate that. Thanks. Yeah, but I think Tauntauns are gonna do well. I feel like Tauntauns will do well. I know they don't have Axel, but they still have longevity. Like I think that it's gonna be good for paintball, that there is gonna be sort of a mix up. That's one of the things where whenever you have a brand new team, um, it can kind of mess with people. I mean, look at the Hurricanes as a great example. No one really knew how they played because they hadn't played them before. So, yeah, you can go and watch footage as much as you want to, but it's not one of those things that you can go and like, oh, well, let's uh let's see, how we stack up against them. Well, when you actually are face to face with them, it's a little bit different. But yeah. No, okay. So yeah, I think I can agree with that. Yeah, I think Carnage will do well, but I don't I agree with you. I don't see them moving on. No offense to those guys. Like is it someone that I know on that team? I don't know if Sushi plays with them or if it's with I think it's someone else. But yeah, there was someone that I had played with the Kings my first year playing with them that had played. I can't remember if it was Carnage or PP Arena. But whatever, it doesn't make a difference. But yeah, I don't see them doing well against Heat, Dynasty, or Impact. Especially when you have teams like that are going like they got some money backing them and they want to make sure that they are competing and yeah, that they're ready for whatever it is that they um are coming up against. Um so where should I practice sliding? So that's a good question. So basically, some of it's going to depend on your grass at your field, or I'm sorry, at your backyard or in your front yard. Sometimes the grass is like me trying to slide out in my backyard here. It's probably going to rip up a bunch of the grass. It's not like rolled or anything like that. So I'm going to have issues. But if you went to this is where it would be tricky. But if you go to a like a soccer field or a baseball field or like a public one of those, you could always try to do that. But yeah, I mean, if you have an area that has a little bit of turf or something like that, you can go and practice sliding. But yeah, I'm not going to say go and dive in your living room. So all right, I want to look at the rankings here. So right now, when I ran the numbers, and this was before the uh the stuff with the other teams coming over and the adjustments and all that. What I saw was that DMG, for them to be safe from relegation, they have to get 17th or above, which means that they have to, I think it's win, is it one or two matches? So they'd have to do that. Um, and then the Saints just need to have them not do that well. NYX, I think, is pretty safe. Well, NYX. I mean, if the Saints show up and show out, then there's going to be a fight for sure. And then the Iron Men. Actually, this is a little bit closer than I thought when I looked at this because I was really just looking at the Saints numbers when I was kind of crunching. So yeah, so basically, as long as DMG does 16th or worse, I'm sorry, 17th or worse, they'll be the ones that are relegated this year. Now, how that's all going to play in with the changeover, with the um, what is it? These other teams coming in from Europe and the Latin leagues. That'll be interesting to see how that messes with things. But yeah, I mean that's definitely definitely something. But um, yeah. So what else? So definitely make sure if you guys, I'm obviously you're all subscribed if you're in the chat. Um, but for those that are going to be at World Cup, please make sure that you say hi. I'm going to be doing some more giveaway stuff, just like I did last year. So you'll have to find me, and I'll do the same thing where there's like a secret word or something like that, or a weird handshake, or I don't know. I'll figure something out. I might make you look like a fool to get. Oh, Nick, you are lucky, my friend. I have one more reg. What I'll do is one more of the short bodies, one of these, because I have my tank here. So one of these, the Powerhouse, the TKO reg, with the How to Play Paintball logo. Where is it? On that side? There it is. So you have that one there. So yes, I do have one more. So if you want that, Nick, go ahead and email me. So how to play paintball 05 at gmail.com. So you can email me there, and we'll figure out all that fun stuff. But yeah, I literally have one left. It's in my garage. Like I brought it to a practice with a team that I was helping coach at a tournament, and no one, I guess, needed one or wanted to buy one, but I literally have that one left. So if you are interested, absolutely. Oh, no, no, email me anyway. I understand if you have WCPBL for sure, but, yeah, let's talk. How about that? But yeah, so I have some stuff, like, there's a box of things over there that I can do for, and thank you for the support. For, what is it? For the giveaways at Cup and all that. So you guys will definitely have to grab me there. So with actually, of course, please keep putting questions down in the comments if you guys have anything. um yeah, I know some people had asked, like, what is it? I want to clarify, it's not that I'm stepping away from paintball. The channel's still going to be here. I'm still going to be out there playing. It's just I can't. It's difficult to have the schedule, how it currently is right now, to have the schedule that I have and have two small boys. You know, my youngest is 6 months old. My oldest is 2.5, just about to be 3 in a couple months. So um, it's just tough, and this isn't something that I do and get paid for. So it's one of those things that I mean, if I was able to make it my career, that would be really cool. But uh, yeah, so if I could choose to play for any team, what team would you choose? That's a tough one. That's a real tough one. Um, I think the fact of the depth that Impact has would be something that I'd be able to learn the most from. So if I had to pick a team, it'd be them or Dynasty probably. Just strictly for the fact of how much you can learn from those guys and just the years of knowledge that's all combined. Um, uh, yeah, probably Dynasty or Impact. Uh, just to be able to go and learn from them would be incredible. I know. I remember when I was first coming up, one of the guys from the Ironman way back in the day, we had paid for him to come out to a practice, and I remember learning like about like ghosting and like shadowing bunkers and stuff like that, and things that I had never thought of before. That um, makes it tough. Or helps you to bring to that next level. Toughest player to face off again in terms of like one on ones or just in terms of playing in general. If it was one on ones, I would probably say either Archie or Ryan, um, just because they, in general, it's tough to say because the thing that's great with paintball is you can still outsmart someone that's a better gunfighter than you. You can still go and play against someone and beat them because all it takes is one ball. That's one of the great things with paintball is that it's a equalizer in that sense. Um, you can have a worse shot than someone, but if you outsmart them and are able to get around and behind them, doesn't matter. If I put my barrel to someone's back, I'm not going to miss. So, I think my opinion still stands, though. It'd probably be Ryan or Archie, strictly for the fact of how they can break the field down and how they can um, choose when to fight and when to move, things like that. But I don't know. Everyone is beatable. That's one of the cool things, and I don't mean this as a cockiness, but being in pro for for 5 seasons, you're able to go against anyone, and it's just kind of like, all right, it's another player. Like, all right, I just need to make sure I tuck in more, or I might need to have more pressure. Like last event, when we played damage, I'm like, I'm not gonna let Keith Brown in the snake, so I'm sitting there pumping a gap because I'm like, I'm not gonna give him a chance to go. Like, why would I give Keith Brown, who's arguably one of the best snake players in the world, why would I give him the snake? So I'm not gonna do that. So um, but overall, I would probably say Archie or Ryan Greenspan. Um, but it's not that there's one player that's like better than everyone. Although I do think that Ryan has kind of overtaken that greatest of all time. No offense to Oliver, but I think Ryan has definitely taken that just for longevity, but also the way, again, like I know I mentioned it, the way that he can break a field down is incredible. So um, yeah. Uh, who have I learned the most from? Hmm. I mean, Charlie Givens was the one that gave me my shot. Um, who have I learned the most from though? I mean, Charlie's learned a lot from other people. I would probably say Charlie, actually. Yeah, because I know that there's things that he brought from when he played with the Golden State Kings, when he played with Archie and Ryan, and I want to say Marcelo played with them as well. Like, played with a lot of high end players. Um, and yeah, I mean, the stuff that he was able to bring back is incredible. So I would probably say Charlie Givens would be the one. He's the one that owns the ML Kings, as well as now has kind of taken more of a coaching role. But we'll still jump in. I mean, he's pretty crazy. And yeah, Ryan is kind of like LeBron in the sense that it's kind of the LeBron versus Jordan debate. Who were they playing against and who are they doing now, or like what are they doing now? Things like that. It is what it is. Um, yeah, so I guess I would stick with Charlie. Like I said, he was the one that gave me my initial pro shot, and then was the one that helped with growing the team and making it where players were getting better and better based off that knowledge. I mean, yeah, Ryan is older now, but still. But yeah, that's a good question. That's a tough one, but I think I'm gonna stick with my answer on that. My favorite paintball team. Hmm, that's a really good question. You guys are asking some good questions. Um, if I had to pick, strictly for entertainment value, NYX. Overall, though, I was thinking maybe Legion, but I think Dynasty. Again, just the way that they it's just the chess that they play on the field and playing off each other and having those things fall the way that they do. I think I would stick with Dynasty on that one. I think it would be them, but strictly for uh, who would I play with if it would be anyone? Um, like I said earlier, I think I would learn the most from Impact or Dynasty. Those guys just have so much knowledge on that team. Even like look at Alex Rodriguez when he was still playing. He went with the Ironmen and then learned from them. Played with Impact, learned a bunch from them. Played with Dynasty, yeah, played with Dynasty. Like, so, just the growth that he had as a player. is evident in how he was able to grow. So I think Impact or Dynasty would be the teams that I would learn the most from and grow the most as a player. But yeah, yeah. Well, hey, it's been 45 minutes. So thank you guys so much. If you are a member, thank you so much for that. I think I am going to start going over to and tell me what it was that that you guys think. Ultimately, my members are the ones that get videos early. You're able to also recommend videos that you would like to see. And then I think what I want to do is have it where I do a free live stream and then a members only live stream. So that'll be every week. Sorry, every other week. So like the next one would be before World Cup. Um, uh, I guess I can answer that one too. Was it a hard choice from the ML Kings to the Saints, or just a choice to move for something different? It was a tough choice. It wasn't something that I necessarily was like overnight, whatever. When I was gonna go and call Charlie, who owns the ML Kings, like it wasn't an easy conversation, but it was something that I felt was gonna be best for me. Um, As a vlogger the most? That's messed up, Nick. You don't think that I'm a great vlogger? No, Matt the Gym Rat does a really great job. He seems to do really, really well with all that overall, and is killing it on TikTok and all that. I mean, was it Lad Bible or whatever even retweeted some stuff or reposted? So really cool for him. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna jump off because I'm gonna go get ready to because I gotta get up really early because again, paintball isn't my job. So so thank you guys so much. And if you are gonna be at World Cup, please say hi. Be on the lookout. Of course, next week, Wednesday, when the layout drops, I'll have for my members that night, or very early Thursday. It might be a long night. The layout breakdown, my usual breakdown, and then for everyone else, it'll probably be like Friday or Saturday that I do the layout release. So that breakdown for the my initial thoughts. And then of course I'll have my playing footage and all of that. I'm gonna be out going to St. Louis with Ruthless Factory. So if you guys are out there, please say hi as well. So thank you again, everyone, and I will see you guys later.